Have you ever noticed yourself suddenly scanning for signs that something is wrong in your relationship? Maybe their tone changed slightly, or they took longer to text back, or they seemed emotionally distant for a moment. And all of a sudden, your whole body starts bracing. You start overanalyzing, overthinking, preparing, protecting. And from my experience, this can feel exhausting because part of you knows you may be overreacting, but another part feels completely convinced that something bad is about to happen. And often, this is not intuition. It's the nervous system that learned relationships were emotionally unpredictable earlier in life. And in this video, we're going to talk about the reason why you start scanning for threat in relationships and why you can't relax in romantic partnerships. One of the most exhausting nervous system patterns in relationships is chronic threat scanning. This is the moment the body becomes hypervigilant for signs that something's wrong, that love is changing, that disconnection is coming, or emotional safety may disappear. And like many women, I used to think this meant I was simply too sensitive. But after years of studying nervous system patterns and working with so many thoughtful women navigating these same experiences, I've discovered many people are not actually overreacting consciously. Their nervous system simply learned to stay prepared for emotional danger, and this often begins much earlier in life. For instance, if a child experiences emotional unpredictability in their household or school, disconnection, criticism, abandonment, bullying, emotional inconsistency, or relational confusion, the nervous system adapts. It learns, hey, stay alert, watch carefully. Something could shift at any moment. And over time, this can become automatic hypervigilance inside adult relationships. So now even subtle moments can trigger protection, a facial expression, a delayed response, less affection, a small shift in tone, emotional distance, conflict, silence, or even uncertainty. And all of a sudden, the nervous system begins scanning for threat. And this can look like overanalyzing conversations, needing more reassurance, preparing for abandonment, or assuming something's wrong, emotionally bracing, people-pleasing, withdrawing or shutting down, or constantly monitoring the relationship dynamic. And from the outside, this can appear irrational, but inside the nervous system, it often feels deeply real because the body is trying to prevent future emotional pain. And this is important because many thoughtful women confuse hypervigilance with intuition, but they're not the same. Intuition feels grounded, clear, steady, maybe even quiet. And hypervigilance feels urgent, fearful, obsessive, or activated. And that distinction changed everything for me personally, because for years I thought my nervous system activation was always giving me accurate information, when often my body was simply trying to protect me from old relational pain. And this is why Insight alone often does not fully stop these patterns, because the nervous system moves faster than conscious awareness. So healing happens when the body gradually learns that connection can remain safe, that uncertainty can be tolerated, and that relationships do not need constant monitoring in order to survive. And that is the deeper work of embodiment, not becoming less sensitive, but becoming increasingly safe inside connection itself. And if you recognize yourself in this pattern, please know that you are not broken. Your nervous system adapted intelligently to earlier emotional experiences. The beautiful part of this is that the nervous system can slowly learn new experiences over time. More safety, more regulation, more trust, and more ability to remain present without constantly preparing for danger. And that changes relationships completely. In the next video, we're going to explore another question I used to ask myself, and it's a question many other spiritual women ask. Why do awakening women become mean when they're triggered? If you're interested in learning more about embodied repair and nervous system healing in real relationships, you can subscribe below. And if you want to understand why awareness can disappear during emotional pressure, you can also download my free guide below. It's called Why You Understand Yourself But Still Lose Yourself in Relationships. If this was helpful, let me know. I look so forward to your comments. And until next time,